Brother-in-law makes flirtatious comments and gives me uncomfortable hints. When I tell my husband about it, he gets mad at me instead of supporting me. I, 28F, have been noticing some weird behavior from my brother-in-law, 30M, lately. He's been making comments and giving me hints that are clearly not about the conversation or activity we're doing together. They're flirtatious and uncomfortable, and I've tried to brush them off as jokes or misunderstandings. But it's been happening more frequently, and I've started to feel really uneasy around him. Last night was the final straw. We were hanging out at my place, just the three of us, my husband, brother-in-law, and me, and he made a comment about how I looked in a certain outfit. It was not appropriate, and I felt like he was trying to get a reaction out of me. I tried to laugh it off and change the subject, but inside I was seething. When we were alone later, I told my husband, 29M, about what happened. I expected him to be upset on my behalf or at least acknowledge that his brother's behavior was inappropriate. Instead, he got defensive and told me that I was being too sensitive. He said his brother was just joking around and didn't mean anything by it. He even implied that I was overreacting because I'm paranoid about other men flirting with me. Update. I wanted to update you all on the situation with my brother-in-law. I thought things might have died down after our last conversation, but it seems like he's still not getting the hint. So, here's what happened. His longtime girlfriend, who I've met a few times and really like, is in town for a visit. You'd think that he'd want to spend all his free time with her, right? Nope. Yesterday, he asked me if I wanted to go shopping with him this weekend. Just the two of us. I was taken aback, especially since I know his girlfriend is in town. I told him that I didn't think it was a good idea and that he should spend time with his girlfriend instead. But he insisted. He said that they'd already made plans for later in the week and that this would be a fun opportunity for us to catch up. No. I'm not buying it. I tried to politely decline again, but he kept pushing. He even said that my husband was okay with it, which I highly doubt. Finally, I had to be blunt and tell him that I wasn't comfortable going shopping with him alone. You know what his response was? Oh, come on. It's just shopping. Like, does he not understand why this is inappropriate? I'm so frustrated. Even though he's got a girlfriend who's visiting from out of town, he still wants to spend time with me alone? It's like he thinks the rules don't apply to him or something. Update. I'm still trying to process what happened last night. I'm shaking with anger and hurt as I type this out. So, after my brother-in-law asked me to go shopping with him alone, I thought that was the end of it. But nope. Last night, my husband and I were hanging out at home when my brother-in-law stopped by. He was being his usual charming self, but I could tell he was up to something. And then, my husband dropped a bombshell. He asked me if I wanted to leave with his brother to go grab some dinner or something. Just the three of us. I was taken aback. Didn't he remember our conversation about how uncomfortable his brother makes me? But before I could even respond, my husband said, "Oh, come on, it'll be fun," and started pushing me to agree. I was stunned. Why would he do this to me? I tried to decline politely, saying that I wasn't feeling up for it and would rather stay home. But my husband got angry. Like, really angry. He started yelling at me in front of his brother, saying that I was being paranoid and unreasonable. I was devastated. My own husband was lashing out at me for not wanting to spend time with his creepy brother. It felt like he wasn't even on my side anymore. In a daze, I agreed to go with them just to get out of the argument. As we left the house, my heart felt heavy with sadness and betrayal. The rest of the night is a blur. We went to some restaurant and pretended like everything was fine, but inside I was seething with resentment towards my husband. Update. I'm still trying to process what happened yesterday. I'm shaking with anger and hurt as I type this out. I received a frantic message from my brother-in-law, saying that he was having an asthma attack and needed my help. He begged me to come over to his place ASAP, claiming that he didn't have his inhaler and was struggling to breathe. I was worried, so I rushed over to his house. When I arrived, the front door was open, which seemed strange. But I didn't think much of it and walked in, calling out to see if anyone was there. As I entered the living room, my heart stopped. My husband was sitting on the couch with my brother-in-law's girlfriend. They were holding hands and looking very cozy. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. My mind racing, I tried to process what I was seeing. Why were they together? And why did my brother-in-law lie to me about having an asthma attack? My husband looked up and saw me standing there, frozen in shock. He quickly jumped up and tried to explain, but I wasn't having it. I turned around and walked out of the house, tears streaming down my face. I'm still trying to process the bombshell that was dropped on me yesterday. I'm still reeling from the shock of catching my husband with my brother-in-law's girlfriend. But what's even more mind-blowing is what I just found out. I confronted my brother-in-law about why he lied to me about the asthma attack, and what I discovered is just, wow. Apparently, he's been wanting to tell me about my husband's affair with his girlfriend for a long time. He knew that his brother was cheating on me, and he felt guilty for not speaking up sooner. But here's the twist. He didn't want to come right out and tell me because he wanted to make his brother feel jealous. He wanted him to experience the same pain and betrayal that he felt when he found out about the affair. That's why he kept giving me these weird hints and invitations, like asking me to go shopping with him alone. He was trying to make his brother think that something was going on between us, just like how his girlfriend was cheating on him with my husband. It's been a few weeks since I found out about my husband's affair with my brother-in-law's girlfriend. It's been a tough road, but I'm finally starting to heal and move on. I ended things with my husband, and it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. But I knew it was necessary for my own well-being and self-respect. I've also cut ties with my brother-in-law, who I realize now was just as toxic as his brother.